I don't know about you guys, but I've noticed that something really strange has been going on around here at the shop. I mean, Ilya and Chris are both acting super strange. Whenever I'm trying to complete a task, it always seems like Chris is like right over my shoulder. It's like super creepy. I don't know what he's up to. I mean, Ilya can't seem to open his mouth without telling a lie. It's really starting to be quite strange. They're both acting super sus. And speaking of acting suspect, you need to keep your personal information and the information of those you love safe from online imposters. And the best way to do that is to use a VPN service. And private internet access is the leading VPN no-log service that you should choose. I know things are a bit shut down right now, but once the world gets back to traveling, you need to protect yourself on the go. Whether you log into Netflix, check your email, or do online banking, wherever you are, if you log into a Wi-Fi, you're vulnerable. Private internet access works as a shield between you and the people trying to get at your information, keeping you safe from the imposters. This isn't some overnight service. They've been around for over 10 years, and they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. Hey, you don't have to take my word for it. Private internet access is PC Mag's editor's choice for a VPN service. PIA has unlimited access to over 10,000 servers in over 70 countries. With private internet access, you're always protected. There's no need to log into the app over and over and over. And if you don't want it on, there's an easy kill switch right there on the app. And each account allows up to 10 simultaneous device connections. Use the link in the description below and download Private Internet Access VPN today. Not only are you supporting the channel, but you're gonna save 77% at checkout, and you're gonna get 3 whole months free. So what are you waiting for? Keep you and your family safe from those suspect imposters and download Private Internet Access VPN today. I've spent some time developing a very specific pattern that, if done correctly, should look like a bunch of little imposters going down the blade.
And now, the key to good Damascus is to make sure that you set the weld by hand. To make the crushed W mosaic Damascus, I first forge weld my stack by hand, and then in the forging process I turn it the hard way, so all the layers go this way, and crush it, hence the crushed W. Then I proceed with the arduous process of letting the billet cool off, grind all the surfaces clean, and restacking them continuously until I achieve 16 layers this way. This technique is called laser forging.
No, there's no such thing as laser forging. Here you can clearly see that he's hot cutting and folding the material over and over until he reaches his desired layer count. No laser forging. first phase of the forging is now complete. We now have our preform for the knife. It's now time to start introducing some of the patterning. I'm going to use a narrow knife edge wheel, cut in some lines which will give us our ladder pattern, and then Ilya will be able to finish up the blade forging afterwards. With the billet now slightly flattened, it's time to move on to do the most important part of the forging, and that is forging the tip. That if you don't forge the tip on a pattern welded blade, you might as well stay away from making Damascus altogether. Your pattern's just going to run right off the end, and it's clearly going to show that you just ground your point end.
Once the knife preform is done, it's time to introduce the back notches or serrations. And in order to do that, I'm going to use my plasma cutter.
Alright, the forging is now complete. Now, I asked Ilya to make a knife based off of this template. He gave me this. Now, if that's not suspect behavior, I don't know what is. I asked for the Among Us knife, and he gives me God of War. Seems pretty clear to me who's the imposter. You decide. Now time to heat treat the blade. This will be a good test. Let's see if Ilya tries anything funny here.
The key to a good heat treat is to plasma cut your blade, and with this plasma cutter over there, I'm rest assured that this heat treat went well.
Alright, now that the blade has a good heat treat and a safe temper, it's time to move on to doing the finished grinding. Freehand grinding it is. It's what I'm best at anyway.
So this is the 1-inch square stock to make the guard. Before I go on ahead and move to the CNC mill, I'm going to use a little scribe to mark where first the shoulder slot and then the tang slot will be.
Alright, I've seen enough. Let's go ahead and pause the video right now, go to the comment section, and vote on who you think the imposter is right now. Pause the video. Alright, thanks for playing along. We'll have to wait till the end of the video to see if you guessed right, but for now, let's get back to Ilya hot punching the slot on the guard.
Oh, look at this. All fits. Just right.
Alright, all the forging is now complete. It's to the correct shape. Not necessarily the correct size, however, all I have to do now is basically clean off all the surfaces. The pommel was punched so that the tang fits through, and then we'll peen it on. The guard is done basically the same way. All I have to do is sand the surfaces clean, polish the blade all the way through the grits, and then after that, we can etch it. Alright, the blade is now polished. Let's go ahead and etch it in some ferric chloride to see what our pattern looks like.
Holy.
That's badass.
And just like every good buoy, now we're going to weld the pommel on. And with the help of my TIG welder right here, the pommel will be permanently attached to the tang.
Yep, I was the imposter all along. Did you have the right guess? Well, tell us what you want to see us build next in the comments below. Thanks for playing along, and as always, we ask you to consider subscribing to our new channel, That Works.